Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox. I'm the Compliance Evangelist, and I'd like to welcome you to the August edition of my 1 month to a more effective compliance program series that I'm running throughout 2017. This month will be 1 month to more effective continuous improvement. My sponsor this month is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies, and even individuals. Having served in over 500 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, I would urge you to visit Affiliated Monitors at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. As I indicated, this month we're going to look at 1 month to more effective continuous improvement. We're going to consider auditing and monitoring, the different types of auditing that you can do, from third-party auditing, supply chain, data risk auditing, culture auditing, auditing against fraud. We're going to talk about control testing. We're going to look at continuous improvement through the use of big data. We're going to look at measuring effectiveness, risk-based monitoring, email sweeps as monitoring, and listening as continuous monitoring. I think you're going to find it a fascinating month, and I'm sure at the end of the month you will have picked up multiple lessons on what you can do to improve your compliance program around continuous improvement. This is Tom Fox. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode, and I hope you'll join me for the entire month. This 2017 1 month to a better compliance program podcast series is a part of the Compliance Podcast Network. Day 6. Data analytics and ongoing monitoring of third parties. Next, I take a look at how data analytics can be used for continuous improvement where the primary sales force used by a company is third parties. A clear majority of FCPA violations have come from the use of third parties. While sham contracting, i.e. using a third party to conduct, as a conduit for the payment of bribes, has lessened in recent years. There are related data analysis which can be performed to ascertain whether a third party is performing legitimate services for your company. There are several more complex analytics that can be run in combination to identify suspicious third parties, and some of the simplest can be to look for duplicate payments or erroneous payments. A key to moving from detection to prevention to continuous improvement is the frequency of review. It is common for most organizations to periodically review a year or more of accounts payable invoices at one time for errors or overpayment. Changing this from a one-time annual or biennial event to something that is done weekly or even daily dramatically improves the value of such continuous improvement. The more frequent preventative analysis is integral to the foundation of third-party management. While many companies performed look-back audits, ongoing monitoring also works to accomplish the same queries on a daily or weekly basis. This allows organizations to find duplicate payments or overpayments after the invoice has been approved, but prior to the time payment is made. You thereby prevent money from leaving the company altogether. Duplicate payments are a favorite mechanism of fraudsters. Considering the following scenario, where an invoice ending in TX was paid for just over $10,000. 30 days later, the same vendor resubmitted the invoice due to non-payment, but it requested the payor without a hyphen between the number and the designation TX. Consequently, is not detected by a system of payable controls. The problem is the second invoice had slightly different writing on the face of it, but for the same services and hence was a duplicate invoice. On the company side, both invoices are scanned into a company's imaging system and queued up for payment. Data analysis can locate such overpayments and identify a second payment that should not be made because it's a match of one that has been previously approved. Another analysis a compliance practitioner can use comparing vendor name and other identifying information, such as country, data from a watch list as politically exposed persons or specially designated nationals, to name or other identifying information in your vendor file. An inquiry can also be used to test in other ways, such as if the vendor has the same surname as a vendor on an SDN or PEP list. Now suppose they share the same name as an elected official down in Brazil. How do you know that your vendor or broker is a different John Doe than the John Doe that is the politically exposed person in Brazil? It is only upon closer inspection that you're able to determine that the middle names are different and the ages are different, and the one has an address in Brasilia and the other is in Sao Paulo. Without further inspection, including demographic information about your vendors, consultants, or other third parties, and then comparing them to watch list individuals, such red flags are present but not cleared. This is what data analytics can do in form of continuous improvement. It is to help you go from 10,000 maybes to a very small number of potential issues. One of the important functions of any best practices compliance program is not only to follow the money, but to try to spot where pots of money could be created to pay bribes. Through comparison of invoices for similar items among similar vendors, data analytics can uncover charges and fraudulent billings. Continual transaction monitoring and data analysis can prove its value through more frequent review, as individuals tend to perform better when they know they are being monitored. The techniques used in transaction monitoring for suspicious invoices can easily be translated into data analysis for anti-corruption continuous improvement. Software allows a very large aggregation of suspicious payments, not only by day or month, but also by vendor or even by employee who may have keyed the invoices into your system. As these suspicious invoices begin to cluster by market, business unit, or person, a pattern forms which can be the basis of additional inquiry. Such is the value of data analytics and continuous improvement. Analytics allows a compliance practitioner to sort and resort, combine, and then aggregate so that patterns can be more fully investigated. The final concept of finding patterns that can be discerned through aggregation of huge amounts of transactions is the next step for the compliance function. Yet data analysis does far more than allow you to follow the money. It can be a part of your third-party ongoing monitoring, as well as allowing you to partner the information on third parties who might come into your company where there was no proper compliance vetting. Such capabilities clearly move you towards continuous improvement, and just as clearly, these are capabilities you need to be headed toward. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, first of all, always remember to follow the money to see where a pot of money could be created to fund a bribe. Anyone who's going to pay a bribe has to determine or has to create a pot of money to make it payable. Number 2, transaction monitoring techniques around fraud monitoring translate to data analysis for compliance. This is really the basics of continuous improvement. How can you use same or similar information in a different way? And finally, do not forget that continuous improvement also means checking against the known bad guy list, politically exposed persons, and specially designated nationals. This is Tom Fox. I hope you have enjoyed Day 6 of 1 month to more effective continuous improvement, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow for Day 7. This is Tom Fox again. I'd like to thank you for listening to this episode of 1 month to more effective continuous improvement in your compliance program. If you have listened to this podcast on iTunes, please rate this podcast. It was a help in our rankings, and also get the word out about the only daily podcast to help you improve your compliance program. If you have any questions, you can email me at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This is Tom Fox. I'm the Compliance Evangelist, and you've been listening to 1 month of more effective continuous improvement from the Compliance Podcast Network.